All right, we are here for today's Jerry Sin Show, brought to you again by Heil Ginseng. It is National Ginseng Week, and Heil Ginseng get you all fixed up with all your ginseng needs. Again, today's Jerry Sin Show sponsored by Heil Ginseng. Coach, you took in the team from Minnesota, Dover Iota. I know you told us last week you're going to feed them after the game, and that may have been the best news they had all day. As it turned out, 42-8. You scored early and often. Defense was clicking. I know in the postgame, you told the girls that you thought your team played one of the best first halves that they've played all year. So let's just talk about that. They're working the first half and getting off to that big lead right away.
Yeah, I was really, pleasantly surprised. We scored 21 in the first quarter and 21 in the second quarter. And I don't remember if that was in the second quarter when we had the screen pass call back to. We completed a screen pass, probably 65 yards for a touchdown. The back that caught it and went up in the air and caught it one-handed, came down. Actually wasn't a penalty. It kind of looked like it, but three guys ran into each other. Two of our guys and one guy from Dover, they all collided, and all three of them ended up on the ground, and we got a penalty out of it. I don't even know what it was. It was below the waist, or if it was in the back, I don't know what it was, and it came back. But otherwise, we'd have had another score, and our quarterback ended up 5 out of 6 for like 135 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think one was 47 yards, one was 44, and this one would have been 60-something. So, and we also ran well. So yeah, we couldn't have done much better the first half. 42-0 at half over a team that I think thought they were pretty good. They came out to third quarter a little more inspired, I thought. Maybe a little upset about the way things went the first half. I don't know.
Another team here, Coach, making some noise over to the south of here. They've given up 0 points so far this year. Your defense, though, very good. How would you categorize the play of your defense, and do they have room to get better here in 2019?
Well, certainly. We can always get better. Actually, the scores that we've allowed, other than against Baldwin the first game, one of those was against the starting defense, but the other 3 have all been against the young guys playing late. Friday night, it was parents' night, so we wanted to play all 50 guys we had suited up. And so we had 4 sophomore defensive backs in, or maybe even a freshman, I don't know. And they completed like a 57-yard touchdown pass with about 3 minutes left. Just outran one of our young guys. So actually our starting defense, I think, has only allowed 6 points all year, so they've been doing very well.
Coach, a lot of big scores, and for folks that come out and watch your games, or they watch these highlights that we make for you, they see those big scores. They see the kids having a lot of fun. Some people may wonder, how can you learn anything when the score is so lopsided like that? So that's where the coaches get involved. How do you still turn these games into learning opportunities when practice begins here this week?
Well, obviously on Sunday night we get back together with the coaches and the players, and each coach breaks down the film over the weekend and looks at it. I take notes on specific plays. I usually have, in a game there's probably 120 plays, about 60 by each team. I'll probably have a note on 70, 75 of the 120. Some are in offense, some in defense, some on special teams. If it's just kind of a standard generic play, I may not say anything about it. But a lot of plays, yeah, there's a comment, either, hey, really good job here, or maybe you could have done something a little different here, a little better there. So that's what we pretty much do. We spend as much or more time looking at our own film as we do at upcoming opponent's film on Sunday night. And I think, John Wood and I said, hey, you don't have to worry about what the other team does as long as you know what you're doing. So I kind of ascribe to that theory.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there's a coach to follow, that'd be one on the top of the list for sure. You bring in Hurley this week. That's your last non-conference game, and then you play 4 conference games in a row. What can you tell us about Hurley and what's going to take to get the win on Friday?
Hurley's big, and I know their coach pretty well, Scott Erickson, and they're very disciplined. They run a goal line offense, the same offense that we run a lot of times when we get down by the goal line, a T formation with double tight ends, except they run it all the time. And then they go foot to foot in the offensive line. We don't cut our splits down quite as much as they do. And they run about 6, 7 plays, and they just run them over and over and over and over. And the scouting that the 2 games that we've been able to see, they ran one particular play 28 times. They ran another play 27 times. And this is just in 2 games. So obviously, no, they don't run many plays, but they run them very well. Kind of, like Lombardi's old Packers used to do. Didn't run much, but they ran really well, and they don't make many mistakes.
Coach, dropping all the legendary coach names as we're here with what I know is a legendary coach here, Jerry Sins. You're watching Jerry Sins Show, sponsored by Heil Ginseng, National Ginseng Week, and now is the best time to head on over to Heil Ginseng and get your ginseng supplies replenished. Coach, I mentioned conference play now after this. I know a coach is going to say, well, we want to focus on this week here first. What do you know about the rest of your conference so far? Obviously, again, I mentioned the other team here, Stratford, doing some pretty good things. You meet up with them on October 11th. How would you kind of describe the conference right now and what it's going to take to win a Merriwood Conference title this year?
Well, yeah, obviously Stratford's loaded. I don't know. I think they got 20 or more seniors. A lot of the guys that they still haven't. The team played last year when we played them in the conference showdown at the end of the year too. So we know they have an awful lot of guys back. Auburndale we already played, and they're actually pretty solid. I think they're 3-1. I think that was their only loss. So Auburndale's fairly solid. Marathon got a big win last week, but it was their first one. So I don't know for sure. I think they're coming on. Obviously they're improving, and we haven't really said anything about a game beyond Hurley, and we usually never do. We just go one game at a time. So right now, of course, we're just focused in on Hurley.
All right, Coach. Best of luck this week. Again, game is right here, 7 o'clock on Friday. Coach, good luck.
Thank you very much. It's our alumni night this week.
Got it. All right, guys. So show up early. Get here. It'll be a jam-packed Edgar Wildcat Stadium again here on Friday. And you've been watching the Jerry Sins Show, brought to you by Heil Ginseng. It's National Ginseng Week. Get over to Heil right now. Go to Heil Ginseng online and get your ginseng supplies replenished. We will talk to you again next week.